Hi there, and welcome to week 4 of our series looking at words of hope. And this week's word is grace. What a brilliant word. Mentioned 55 times in the New Testament. It's a word that sums up and underpins and unlocks so much of what we believe as Christians. And from our passage in John chapter 1, I want to highlight 3 things as we consider the source of grace today. And mainly they're from verses 16 and 17. The first is that grace is something you receive. Verse 16, out of his fullness we have all received grace. Grace is a gift. It's something that the best gift giver, God, gives. And ultimately we see that through the gift of God's Son, Jesus Christ. Grace is something that we receive. It carries on. All received grace in place of grace already given. Sometimes we can have a perception of the Old Testament that is very different from the New Testament. But throughout the Old Testament, we see God as gracious. We see evidence of his grace. We see that in the story of Abraham, who was counted as right with God by his faith. And we see that as the example is given in verse 17 here. The grace that was already given was the law that was given through Moses. God graciously saved his people from slavery in Egypt. He rescued them. He brought them out. And he gave them the law via Moses. The law that revealed more of who he was. The law that taught them how to live. The law that showed them that they were going to need God's forgiveness. It was grace already given. But the source of grace itself that we can focus on today, verse 17 goes on and says, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ, the greatest gift ever given, Jesus Christ, who, as the Message version says, moved into the neighbourhood, or as the NIV, verse 14 says, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. God is not distant and out of touch with our pain and suffering and experience. But the greatest gift ever given is Jesus Christ, the source of grace. And so as we think about grace, as we read words from the Bible about grace this week, may you know that grace is something you receive. You can't earn it. It's God's gift to you. May you know that's always been the story of God's people. He's given grace to his people throughout the years. And that the source of grace that we can enjoy and know this week is Jesus Christ, God's greatest gift ever given. God bless you.